All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and we are here for our home yoga practice live. I am hoping, can everyone hear me? I am just realizing that I did not plug in my speaker, so do feel free to make a comment and first let me know that you're here. And give me a little sound check comment as to whether you're hearing me well. Otherwise, I will go ahead and put my mic in. Actually, I think I'm going to do that anyway if I can figure out where it is. So, good morning. Welcome to our home yoga practice live. And I've got Claudia. Seeking slow and strong with balance. All right. I think Claudia is helping me. She might have read a comment that I put out there for today's home yoga practice. Thursdays is about going beyond the basics. How do we grow and take our practice to different levels? So I would like to take that as an approach, since we are in a kind of a class format and not really in a home yoga practicing format. To give it a little bit of format. So how about in poses, maybe a type of pose that you would like to grow and learn some elements to start to improve, and whatever that improvement means. And then how about breath, and how about meditation? What? I don't want to go in my mind, but we have to, right? I mean, if we're really earnest about practicing this as an 8-limbed practice, because it can't all come together unless we start to play with and work with all of these elements. So, good morning. I still see a Claudia comment. I'll give it a little bit more time, and I'm letting you guys know that I am right now working on my sound just to see if it looks like my speaker is on now as far as the microphone. All right, so I'm reading for Claudia. She is, and Joe, seeking slow and strong with balance. Please let me know if there's a specific posture that you would like to work on to achieve like that as an element, because that's going to help us bring in a layer of focus, dharana, in the limbs of yoga. So that's great. We get to use focus and concentration, but we need to know what that is. And that's a little dispersed as far as your objective is concerned. And then does anyone have any idea of a breath that they would like to start to grow in, as well as a meditative space? So let's chew on that for a little bit as we start to get ourselves ready. And I'm going to come and get on my mat and get ready for a check-in space. Welcome once again. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this is our home yoga practice live, hopefully, or you can be joining us on replay. And this is a series of classes that we do at 10:30 each morning as a way of building our own personal practice. And hopefully I'm able to offer tips and some guidance for some structure as you start to explore your way on what you're connecting with in your yoga, because yoga means to create a connection. All right, so we're going to start with our check-in. Find a comfortable way of sitting. Spine is lifting. Start to check in with your physical body. Inquiring of this body, how are you? With each breath, arriving on your mat, creating distance from the busy thoughts that are always there. And it isn't even sometimes that we're creating distance. It's that we are not identifying with the thoughts. Can there be a thought of a plan or a worry or an idea, and that we don't affix our identity, our worth, and our value in the idea. It is separate from us. It is not who we are. And relaxing the belly and just feeling the breath going in and out. I'm going to get ready to put forth some ideas as far as our asana practice today. So you get one more opportunity to add in any poses, any breath practices, or meditation. So feel free to write it into a comment, because that can be something that I will add in for us to work on toward how do we develop that? How do we grow that? So let's go ahead and make our way to our child's pose. And that means we'll be coming to our hands and our knees. Maybe knees are wide, sinking our hips back. Again, if the knees are problematic, just remain seated or put a blanket under your knees. Always seek comfort. Allowing the front of my body to sink down into the mat. Our philosophical lesson for the week has been Sutras 1 through 3. And thus yoga begins. Yoga quiets the constant chatter in our mind. And then we can see clearly. So that first sutra is really where it's at as far as where we're working today. Asking ourselves to begin and to be constantly beginning, growing into a new layer. The work is never done. So allow the belly to breathe, get to know the body as it is here today, and welcome new versions of our breath. Welcome new versions in your body. And that doesn't always mean whatever improvement may mean. Welcoming new versions of our body may mean aging joints. So how am I greeting a new version of my joints as my joints now become 52-year-old joints? Have I made that an active part of my being and my practice? Or am I resisting the truth? Am I not really welcoming seeing things clearly? Let's breathe in and come forward to hands and knees. And notice that transition. And then let's shift it back. So we'll just start to invite a little bit of movement as we embrace the thought. That thought of finding a new edge, greeting something new, cultivating a new space. And that means that we live inside of the transition, that there's no destination in the journey. So let's roll forward. Do we know where the transition point is between the shifting forward and shifting back? Is it indistinguishable or is it definite? So if I pause, I definitely feel, okay, there is stoppage. That's not transitory. I'm going to keep shifting and see if I can feel out the transition between the shifting forward, shifting back. And then bring that same notion that we've been developing all week. Check in. Feel your flesh, feel your bones. All right, so I'm going to go with what Claudia had put in there about slow. And then I believe it was something about balance. So let's shift it forward to hands and knees. Shift slowly. And then keep leaning the chest all the way forward and lower ourselves down. And then press it back up. How slowly can we go? Feeling that engagement. and rolling it forward. What does our body need? What does our breath need? Shifting it forward, lowering it down, breathing out. Notice what is going on. Maybe you're engaging and feeling, I don't really like this slow space. You can choose what level of slow you are doing and lower it down back to your child's pose. And then let's roll it up till we're sitting back on our heels. And we'll do some wrist rotations. Let's notice what was going on in those wrists. And change your direction. And let's find a bit of a twist. Growing tall through the back of the neck. Noticing areas of our spine and our belly and our chest. Shoulders, arms, what is doing what? And then let's release and come on around. Now, even as we're in this twist, ask yourself, is there a new edge here? Or did I just stop? Do I know what a stoppage point is? Do I believe that there is capacity for more room? Can I access that room with sthira sukha, ease and steadiness? Breath. And let's release. Let's come on up to standing. Good. Look at your feet. Make sure they're even. I'm going to turn sideways here so as to demonstrate to not lock the knees back. All right. So have a little soft give. Let's not jam them back. Sitting up tall in the chest. Let's breathe in and reach up. Exhale. Take it forward. Now, while we're here, give a soft give in the knees and just observe every sensation you can feel in the feet, the legs, the spine. Start to shift left foot and right foot. Notice where you are. What's beginning? Where is your mind? What are we getting to see? Now, we can also approach new levels and new layers in acceptance. New levels and new layers in softer spaces, right? New level doesn't always mean push, push, push. So start to notice where your mind went when I bring up new levels, new layers, going beyond basics. Let's breathe in and lift the chest, lengthen the spine. Maybe task yourself, can I feel this lengthening in my armpits or in the sides of my ribs? Can I ask myself to embody that sensation, that intention, a new area? Maybe be aware of each toe where we're here. New area, new awareness, and release the upper body down. And let's roll the spine up, coming up to standing. Feel your spine rooting you. Now let's shift left and right. Okay, so we've stretched a little bit of the back. We've worked a little bit of core with those arms. Now I'm just feeling where the weight is in my legs. And I'm going to root into my right leg and slowly lift the left. Now let that foot just dangle off the earth a little bit. Put your attention into the mountain and let that be where the energy is. And then ask the core if it will lift the knee. And observe what we observe. And as slowly as we can, we're going to lower that foot down. And when it touches the earth, feel its contact come gradually. Feel your rootedness and your weight bearing become gradual. Invest in the mountain again. Root and allow this lift. It can be an inch. breath. And then ask, what is working to keep me standing upright? And I'm willing to see, can that come higher? What do I have to engage down below and up above to find just a little bit of space? Breath, a little bit more power. And what is it I'm experiencing? See it clearly and lower it down. Love every wobble, every wiggle that happens. Good. Let's breathe in and reach. Exhale, gentle side bend. Now push the feet down and ask, what am I feeling on this side? How low down on this hip? Or am I feeling everything in this upper part? Can I affect what it is I am feeling in what body area? Am I even resisting the notion of wanting to feel something differently? And breathe in and come on upright. Exhale it over to the other side. Feeling the bone structure supporting us. Feeling the breath underneath of our flesh. And observing the mind. And asking the mind, okay, is it possible for me to experience this differently? Maybe it's just I can have a little bit more time. Breath. And let's lift, root, breath, and bring it forward. Maybe shake the head up and down. All right, I'm going to come now and bring my hands to the half flat, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, lower it down. If you need to get a strap and bring it underneath of the soles of your feet, go ahead and do so. Some of you are able to grab the big toes with your index fingers and thumbs. So if not, go ahead and use your strap, but hold the strap as close to the floor as you can. So whatever grip any of us have, let's breathe in and pull the spine up. And then ask yourself, how do I pull the shoulders back and imagine flattening and lengthening my spine here? And put energy into that. Rooting down into the feet. Notice how that helps you possibly lengthen the spine a little bit more. And on an exhale, we will pull the top of the head in the direction of the floor. Elbows flaring out to the sides. Now we're confronted with compression and contraction here, right? We're folded into ourselves. What are we encountering in our minds as we feel what may be perceived as a limitation? Can we make space in that? What's going on in the backs of the legs? Where in the backs of the legs? Super high up toward the hip bone, or is it back behind the knees? So we're building new levels of awareness, new levels in certain body areas, softening the neck. Breath in, lift the chest half flat. Exhale, pull the top of the head toward the floor. If you relax your belly muscles, soften them, you might find space in the spine. Breath in and lift. This is called Padangusthasana. Exhale, pull the top of the head toward the floor. Let the strap go, let the hands go. Breath in, lengthen the spine long. Now see if you can plant your hands down. That might mean you have to have your hands way out in front of you, but just have them flat. And then put some weight into those arms. Shift forward and step one leg back and another leg back. Bring the knees down if you need. Whatever version of plank is yours. Breath. As slowly as we can, we'll push the butt up, dropping the head down, letting the head go, pressing the heels back, sliding the shoulders away from ears. Follow your breath. Follow your body. Roll your spine forward, finding your plank. Breath. Make something new. If you're in extended plank, squeeze the thighs. Ask your legs to hold you maybe more than the arms. Can we fill this up and let the back of the shoulder blades rise to the heavens rather than letting the energy of the earth compel us so much? Notice your mind, your edge. If you need to go to down dog now, just do it slowly. Slowly, slower as you lift the hips up, dropping that head down, pressing the heels back. Let's take the feet out wide on our mat, changing something about your downward dog, tilting the tailbone up, allowing the upper body to sink, squeezing the thigh, and maybe observe two areas that you don't usually notice in this down dog. And what are they saying? Are they gradually releasing or are they fighting? What is the conversation you wish to have? Bring the knees down and we'll find child's pose. All right, I'm going to sink my hips back. Maybe turn your palms up. I love alternating now and again in my child's pose. And just notice how changing a simple thing lets my mind and my breath embrace this moment in a new way. Basically, we know we need to change something if we feel as though our practice has become same old, same old. Same old, same old. Because remember the first sutra, and thus yoga begins. We are beginning, exploring, and seeing something new all the time. I'm going to tie these together into a bit of a flow. We're going to move slowly and deliberately. You choose the pacing that works for you, all right? This isn't about keeping up with anyone. You are developing your home yoga connective practice. You're connecting your mind with your breath and your body. Open yourselves to what you get to see about your patterns. Remember that journaling is a part of this process, so I do hope that you're spending some time in reflection before or after your practice, writing down what you observe, what you're resistant to, where your mind likes to go, or new areas that you've discovered that you didn't even know. Like, oh, wow, I can actually trust this. Or I'm surprised myself in an area I thought I would be poor at or not so good at. Let's breathe in and come forward to hands and knees. Lean the chest forward. Find whatever plank is yours. Lower yourselves down gently, slowly, mindfully. Breath in, lifting the chest. Exhale to downward facing dog. Butt goes up, head goes down. Breath in, tilt the tailbone up. Feel what you're feeling. And let's gradually bring the feet up in between your hands. I'm going to bring one knee down first and then step the other leg up. Breath in, half flat back, lengthen. Exhale, releasing your upper body. Rolling the spine up, coming to standing, finding our mountain. Let's root into the left leg and lift the right leg. Take your time. Pay attention to your mountain. Let's reach that heel out. Breath. Find a new edge. Maybe it's a new millisecond. Maybe it's a new way of thinking in your mind. Maybe you're just going to try something out physically. Bring the knee back up. Can you believe it can come up higher? Stand a little more firm in the standing leg. Lower that down. Feel it come into contact with the earth. Root into that leg slowly. Lifting that leg, lifting your chest. Feel every wobble. Change what you're saying about yourself if you notice it's negative. New level. Reach. Breath. We are not trying to achieve a perfection. We're going with the flow. What's going on in the extended leg, thigh, calf? What's going on in my spine to hold me up tall? Do I believe? Who am I in this shape? Bring this knee up, feeling my core. Ooh, where's my breath body? Maybe another breath. Stira sukha, ease and steadiness. Bring that leg down, root into it. Breath in, let's lift, side bending, and find our way over to one side. Now, if you would like, maybe you find a clasp on that wrist. You don't have to. Let's see if we can find a new edge in the number of breaths and soften around something. Find new layers of yielding and surrender. And that can be a certain zone. Everything else needs to apply. Something has to be applying for us to stay upright. What are you softening around? Make a choice. It can be your jaw. It can be your hip. It can be your thoughts. Maybe your eyelids. New level. And bring ourselves upright. Breath. And over to the other side. Greet this side. Notice how you're greeting it. Are you rushing into it? Can you go more deliberately? Are we willing to confront what we see? When we change our pacing, when we change a duration, these are ways to start to look at new levels and approach them. Breath in. Breath out. And bring ourselves upright. Lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to get that strap or bring those fingers to the toes. Breath in, lifting the chest, lengthen. Don't let this be a drive-by. This is legitimate. Is the spine lengthening parallel to the floor? How are the legs holding us? Is the weight all the way back in the heels? What is equilibrium? Do I know this shape? Tighten your tummy, support your back. Do I know this shape? Do I know, or am I willing to explore who I am in this shape? And then eventually pulling the top of the head toward the floor. Elbows flaring away from the ears. Softness in between the shoulders. Letting go. We are investing in new layers of surrender. Maybe shift forward into the front of the feet a little bit more and notice what we confront in terms of fear of falling over. We'll release the strap, release the toes, breathe in, lift the chest up, planting the palms deliberately. Now, for some of us, that might mean you need to walk the feet back a bit, but get those hands down nice and flat. Bring some weight forward. Shift forward into your new arm legs. Feel this experience. Tighten the belly. And then we'll step one leg back, the other leg back, and find our plank. You make a choice. Maybe lift one leg. Maybe not. What do we learn about the leg that's still on the ground? What do we learn about both arms and our capacity for breath? Bring that leg down, lift the other leg if you're doing it. Otherwise, just hang out. Maybe go to child's pose. Maybe you have edged yourself out. Good. Let's bring that foot down. We're going to lower it down. Breathe in. Lift your chest, cobra. And lower it down. All right, I'm going to introduce us into our upward facing dog because maybe you usually are always doing the cobra. So a new layer, it's going to involve the arms a little bit more, and we have to find ease in the upper body as the points in contact with the earth become more of our root. Cobra, we have a lot of surface of our body on the earth, giving us a lot of root and support. Up dog, we really have far less surface, just the palms and the tops of the toes. The rest needs to find ease, and therein lies the rub because we end up in a lot of struggle, especially if this is new for a lot of muscle sets. We're going to press down through the tops of the feet, start to straighten the arms, lift the hips and the thighs off the floor. Hips are going to come down and forward, pulling the chest up, shoulders down. Don't let the shoulders come up by the ears. Lift. And maybe already you're like, I need to be down on the floor. Be down on the floor. Breath. Knees down. Child's pose. Let's roll ourselves up to sitting back on our heels. We'll do wrist rotations again because that up dog may have put a lot of pressure into those wrists if we were practicing it. Let your mind, as you're doing your wrist rotations, start to slow down. Do your check-in again. Make that a part of your checklist of practice. When in doubt, do a check-in. Feel your body. Notice what's going on, areas that are fatigued or energized. Notice your breath. Regulation. Remember yesterday we talked about Rajas, Sattva, and Tamas. Being able to be more balanced, sattvic. Equilibrium. Change direction in those wrists, maybe flare the fingers. New awakening, new awareness in our hands. How much spaciousness are we inviting in between each bone in our hands, bones in our wrists? Okay, let's come to our downward facing dog. We're going to spread the fingers, palms are shoulder width apart, giving us a good support structure. That's all right? We don't have to make alignment this science, all right? We don't have to be that exacting. We want to live in a balanced space with the body and the breath and the mind, not here trying to suddenly become some, yoga technician in your body. That ends up being a distraction from the stuff we really need to see, which is in the mind. We'll tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, finding our downward dog. I'm going to keep my knees soft here because my back is just asking for a little forgiveness. I've got nothing to prove, okay? Our practice isn't always go to the max of any amount of stretch or strength. Remember, finding your edge can also be, can I find the edge of softness? If we're thinking in terms of yin and yang, can I find the edge of my yin and not just the edges of yang? I'm going to walk my feet out a little bit wider here and tilt the heels out and push the butt up. My knees are still a little soft. It's actually letting me feel a lot more in my low back, my sacrum. Letting my head go. Now I'm going to bring the feet together and let the heels come down, heels together, toes out, and push the butt up. Oh, what am I experiencing here? Pressing down and forward through the arms. Breath in. Breath out. What's still lifting? What's just hanging out here? And then let's come back to a neutral positioning of the feet. I'm going to bring my left knee down and step my right foot up. Tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg. And as slowly as I can, come up for my Crescent Warrior. Bringing my right hand to the back of my right thigh. Seeing if I can stay sinking in that right knee. Sorry, left knee. Right knee. Right hand, left thigh. Breathe in and lift the chest. Maybe a bit of a back bend. New layer of sinking, new layer of trusting. We're beginning again. Noticing the noise in our mind. Bringing the arms back upright. Where are you? Who are you? What do you need? Spin the back foot flat, opening it up, Warrior 2. As you inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, sink. Holding. Turning your chest open toward this view of the wall or the camera. Ungrip somewhere. And notice your mind or any resistance to that. Or joy of that. Slowly straighten the bent leg, aiming heels together, sinking it down into Buddha squat. Chest is lifting. A few pelvic tilts or thrusts, but they're slow motion thrusts. Chest is up. Arms out, goddess arms. Slowly start to straighten. Feel the muscles engage in the thighs, the hips, the belly, the chest. Lengthening the arms, but keeping the shoulders down. Feel your feet. Don't lose that awareness. Exhale, bringing it down. You're going to stop and sink when you're ready to. And observe and breathe. And we're going to slowly start to straighten. Feel your way. Lift. And slowly bring it down. Sink slower. Slower. If you're going to find a new edge, going beyond what's simple, then we have to do it. So ask yourself, did I go into same old, same old? Was I in a hurry? Was I just trying to get out of something? Where am I? Where is my mind and my awareness and my intention? Slowly feel what's going on. What's engaging? Lifting. What's fatiguing? Do you need to honor that? Do you need less? Do you need more? Breath. And let's bring it down. Sink. I'm going to straighten the legs. I'm going to spin on this right foot. Bend in this left knee. Find Warrior 2 on this side. I'm going to widen that out a little bit. Feel out the hips. Lifting up in the chest. Maybe rolling the shoulders. Where's your breath? What can you let go of? What could do more? I just really had to ask this leg to do a little bit more so this one could do a little less. Now I'm going to spin on the toes of this right foot, coming to the crescent on this side. Sinking in the hips, driving that heel back, lengthening upward. Breath. Taking that left hand to the back of that right leg, lifting the chest, sinking it down, and observing what I'm observing. Now this is going to offer new edges, new layers to go beyond in terms of balance, in terms of faith, in terms of hip opening, in terms of strength. We're not trying to go instantly, give me all of it. We're also working new edges of patience, acceptance. Where do you need to be? Gradually, we're going to bring those hands down. Slow your roll. Bring that back knee down. Step the front leg back. And find our plank. Last one. Rooting through those legs, reaching the chest forward, finding our breath. Find a new edge. The new edge of your understanding, a new edge of your patience, a new edge of your tolerance. Maybe it's a new edge of kindness. And then I'll bring the knees down and find child's pose. I am definitely going to flip my palms up, working those arms in the opposite direction, letting my head go. And then we'll come on up to sitting back on these heels. Plant the palms. And let's keep the tops of the feet down and see about lifting the knees up, okay? So the upper body is going to be your rootedness. You could bring two blocks side by side here, but we're going to keep the tops of the feet down. So here's a demo. Palms down, chest up, and lift. Breath, breath. You're going to come down when you're going to come down. Breath. Pull those up, pull those up, pull those up, and lower. Feel your breath. Notice what had changed. Had you limited your breath while you were in that? Where did the mind go? What was the mind chatter? And what did we get to see clearly? What did we do differently? New edge. We went beyond what was simple. We went beyond what was comfortable. That's going beyond our basics. Finding a new edge. Tapas. Once again, palms down. Energy up in the chest. So feel the muscles in the chest and the core. Holding the chest up. Feel the arms pressing down, starting to give us root and support. And from there, we ask the center of the core to pull those knees up, chest up. Breath. Drop the butt, pull the knees up, feel the stretch, notice the toes, notice the feet, notice your mind. And lower that down. We'll come to seated. All right. I'm going to check any other, okay. Clear out some fleshy bits. Point the toes to the face, lift up in the chest. Breath in. Exhale, coming forward. If you needed the strap before when we did this standing, feel free to have your strap nearby to help you lengthen forward, but we're going to flow. Slowly rolling your spine up. Coming upright in the spine, feeling the legs rooting you down. Breath in. Exhale, coming forward. Accept what we feel. Accept what's going on. Rolling the spine up. Do we truly know what is going on? Feel nuance in the backs of your legs and your shins and your ankles. Breath in. Can you feel your core? Exhale, lowering it down, loosening the back and the spine, letting the head go, feeling your neck, rolling that spine up. I'm going to bring this left knee in, wrapping my right arm around the left knee, left hand for support, breath in. Exhale, revolve, twist, bringing that back, hands underneath of that knee, straightening that leg, chest up, asking that leg to lift, chest is lifting, right hand maybe to the ankle, maybe it comes to the foot, lifting that left arms, take your time, opening it out, give some energy upward in the spine, energy outward through that left heel, breath, give some energy to untensing somewhere, inhale, come on back, and then slowly pull that leg. All right, we're going to hold it with one hand. Chest is lifting. Look at my spine. Exhale, let that leg go. See if you can ask your spine to stay lifted. That leg is going to lower. Don't try to fight it. Quiet the mind, breath. And you're going to lower it when it needs to lower, and we're going to massage it a little bit. Breath in, let's lengthen, maybe come on forward using the hands or a strap. And rolling the spine up, feel continuity, new layer. Bringing this right knee in, wrapping around, give yourself support, breath in, exhale, revolve, twist. Releasing out of that, hands behind that hamstring, sitting up tall, lifting that leg up. Left hand to the foot or ankle. This is an aspect we love about the home yoga practice. Lifting this right arm and revolving. Twist. Root down in the left leg. Let it help you. Where's the ease in the shoulders? Can we keep lifting the spine? Coming on back to center, hands behind that calf or shin. Pull the chin toward the shin. Growing tall in the spine. Ready, gonna hold it with one arm. Set, go, gonna leave it. Giving the energy in my spine to hold me up. Letting that leg start to quake and quiver and cramp. Breath. New edge. What am I learning? Wow. And lower that down. We'll massage that out. Breath in and we'll come forward. Breathe into the low back. Fold into yourselves. And we'll bring ourselves upright. Lovely. Let's go ahead and bring the legs out to the front of the mat. Engage your core as we'll start to bring ourselves down, lowering our spine down. Maybe start to notice, can I feel each vertebra? Am I on one side more than another? Do we know? Are we remembering to breathe? And I've finally arrived, and I'm getting the feel, the vertebra in my low back, my mid back, receiving the firmness of the floor. I think I've slept in a really weird position last night. I'm going to receive this massage from this cat. All right, I'm going to walk my feet in. I'm going to reach the arms overhead. So the feet are a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart. Press down through the feet and lift the hips. Nice, basic and simple bridge. Feel the pressure as it's being distributed through the entire surface of your feet. Notice the energy in your thighs, trying not to let that energy splay open. Can you drive it down in a nice neutral space? What is that? Lifting the chin a little. Feel the weight of your body resting in between the shoulder blades against the floor. Now press down with the left foot and see if that right leg wants to lift. Breathing in, breathing out, find a new edge. Where is the pressure in the rooted kneading? Needed. Breath, core, come down when you need. I'm going to bring that leg down now, feeling both legs, breath. Use this as a little intermission, a little break, restoration, and I'm going to root through the right foot and lift the left. Breathing, getting to notice the difference on side to side. And bring that foot down, lift both hips. Maybe you've already come out. And lower the hips down slowly. New pace. Let it be so. What do we get to feel, learn, discover, grow? Bottoms of the feet together, letting the knees fall open. Quiet the mind, maybe close the eyes. Soften the flesh. Observe what's going on in your groin and your pelvis. Is one side or area fighting or resisting or really loving this? Fill up your low belly with breath. Follow the course of your breath. Observe your mind now. What is it doing? Where is it? Is it in a question? Is it trying to solve a problem? Is it judging something about your practice? Is it running down memory lane? Is it distracted by something in your current environment? Now find a new layer of something to let go of in your physical body. I am choosing my right sacrum, the right side of my low back. Just letting it free fall with gravity. And with each breath, recommitting to start that again and again. Relaxing the muscles in my face, my nostrils. My jaw, my neck, my throat. Now change the angle in your legs, maybe sliding the feet forward an inch or 2 or 3. Notice even how you move that. Growing in your awareness of how you treat your body. And then let that go. Accept this angle in the hips and thighs. Invite the rest of your spine, your bones, and your flesh to let go and release and be present. If you need to change and straighten those legs, go ahead. We are still listening and connecting, not commanding in our practice. Be in the body. Be and cultivate and practice your breath. Be with your mind and cultivate it being present, not attached to a thought, not distracted by a thought or stimuli. Absorb the here and the now in body and breath and mind as a present being. Slowly, we'll bring the knees together, move gently. Respect that we held that for quite a bit. Bringing the knees together, walking the feet out wide, and beginning some gentle pelvic tilts back and forth. And we'll start to let the knees flop side to side. Take your time. We're all going to have a pace that we need and that we want. Maybe feel out the difference between those two. What is my need and what is my want right now? In this movement, in my breath, good. And then let's gradually come up to a seated space. Make yourselves comfortable. Maybe finding a new way of sitting. So if you always sit crisscross applesauce, change that. If you could be so simple as I always bring my right on top first, change that. Maybe you're playing with your half lotus, that's heel up toward a hip bone. Things don't stop becoming new and new edges unless we become more familiar and more practiced at them, and say perfecting of them. So choose how you want to sit. Put some deliberate energy in the spine, lifting itself upward. Hands, perhaps cupped in the lap, perhaps resting on the knees, perhaps in a mudra. Heart center, Jnana mudra, index finger and thumbs, connecting individual spirit with universal spirit. Any other mudras that you're starting to explore? And I really invite us all to start to explore. What is this stuff called yoga? How are the ways that I can connect my mind to my breath and my body with what intention? I'm going to keep it simple with abdominal breath to close. Breathing in and feeling the expansion of the tummy. Breathing out, feeling the releasing of the tummy. And when we get distracted about anything else, just feel the flesh of the tummy and the volume of the breath. Intake and outflow. Filling and emptying. What is new to explore in a range of filling, not forcing? What is new to explore in a range of releasing? Where are we exploring and feeling these shifts and changes physically? Where are we feeling these changes mentally? And how are we reacting to what we notice? Single Om to close. Wide open throat, diaphragm relaxed. Embrace this notion now and say, okay, how do I want to experience a new level of my Om? It could be about sincerity. It could be about volume, sound volume, or volume capacity. This is yours to explore. Deep inhale if you're joining. All that is love and light in me recognizes and salutes all the love and light in you. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, here with our home yoga practice live. Today we were working on going beyond our basics, all within the context of the first 3 sutras, beginning, quieting the mind, and seeing ourselves clearly. Within that, we were working on how do we find new edges and exploring new ways and expressions of posture within our ability and checking in on our mind and what's driving the bus. Thank you for joining. Check in on the rebound maybe tomorrow.